Right, hello and welcome back to another video. So this week we're going to be doing something a little bit different. Rather than doing a tutorial of my own, I'm actually going to be doing a couple of recommendations. So firstly here, the simonschreibt.de website. If you like anything that I do on my channel, then you'll definitely love everything that Simon does. Great VFX artist, been working in the industry for a long time, and does some fantastic breakdowns. So here, game art tricks. 82 different examples of really interesting breakdowns of VFX and tech art type techniques, things in video games. So everything from animation, here how the textures and materials and meshes all work together, something like Lego Batman, to the Wasteland eyes, bit spooky, but all sorts, everything, every single one of these, an absolute gem of information. But specifically why I want to talk about this today is we've been doing lots about materials recently. So obviously materials course now available on Gumroad and Udemy, but I don't do that much talking about textures, or haven't yet, but specifically Simon has. So there's a really great GDC talk here from 2022 about how to use textures, how to create textures, but also how to not create textures, how to just use existing textures from marketplace packs or photo brushes, textures, things like that. I'm not going to go through everything that he talks about. Really recommend you go and watch this. But one of the key takeaways from that is that using existing work isn't cheating. And that's a really key thing that I think we're going to come back to in a second. But along with this talk, one thing that he has made is this Textures for VFX resource database. So in making the texture pack, or in making the talk, he did a lot of research into finding information online. So this is, again, a fantastic resource into texture tutorials, texture generators, texture packs, brush packs. Really interesting things in here, so definitely worth checking out. Free resources, as I say, brushes, all sorts of stuff, online texture generators, flame painter online, stuff like this. Really, yeah, fantastic resource. So much work's gone into this. Yeah, so go and check that out. Fantastic things there, which brings me on to my sort of second recommendation, which is this, Peak, the New Science, Secrets from a New Science of Expertise. Now this is a, not really a self-help book, but a book about how people achieve. And there's something that sort of is a very common phrase, the 10,000 hours. There's even a game art Facebook group called 10,000 hours. And actually that's nonsense. It's not about how many hours you do, it's about the quality of the practice that you're doing. And this goes into way more detail, really interesting book. And I think that brings us back to sort of, or ties in with Simon's talk here. Using existing textures. Yes, obviously there's times you don't want to do that, but it's not cheating. It's not, it's a shortcut that's available to us. And specifically when we're learning, when we're just starting out with game VFX, it's such a big topic. There's so many things that you can do in game art. There's textures, there's materials, there's Niagara, there's blueprints, there's lighting, there's rendering, there's all of that stuff, and that's just the technical side. Then you've got the artistic side of colors and timing and motion and shape and form and all of those things as well. So there's so much to do and so many different things you could learn that you don't really want to try and do everything at once. We've had a few discussions recently, people saying things like, oh, I just want to make something cool, or I'm going to make a portfolio piece, and that doesn't mean anything really. There's no such thing as cool, there's no such thing as a portfolio piece. Saying something like, oh, I'm going to make an AoE healing spell in the art style similar to League of Legends, cool, now we have a starting point, we have some direction, we have some gameplay usability and those kinds of things that we can really kind of like build up on. Similarly, I'm going to do some dedicated practice to improve my timing skills. Great, you want to work on your timing? No problem. Use existing materials, use existing textures. There's so many good resources now with marketplaces, free assets, all of these things all on the web. There's no shame or no kind of sacrifice or no problem with using some existing work and using that to focus on a specific thing that you're doing, especially when you're just starting out, especially when you're just learning. Over time, you'll work with other people's work, you'll work with other textures, and then when it comes time to make your own textures, you'll have an idea about what works and what's necessary. I just want to work on color theory. Great. Take an existing finished piece, change the colors. Just take something from maybe the Paragon assets from Epic or any existing final piece and just try a different color set. See what that works, see what that does. Maybe that will then inspire you to then make some changes to the particles, or then maybe we make some textures, or using that as a starting point. But because you're focusing really on color theory, that's really going to help kind of focus what you're doing. And I think there's a real problem sometimes in trying to do everything, trying to run before you can walk, breaking it down into step-by-step things of saying, like, this is the point of this piece, this is the point of what I'm practicing here. So yeah, couple of takeaways. Not every piece has to be finished final portfolio quality. You can just make a little sketch. People who do hand-drawn art, they all include sketchbooks. Let's just do sketches. Not every piece needs to be finished in final quality. You can sit down, you can do a quick sketch. I mean, these are all fantastic quality, obviously, but it can be a 5-minute sketch. It doesn't need to be fully rendered final pieces. You're practicing a specific skill. Well, in game VFX, what does that mean? Well, let's do a sketch where we look about color and then take something, focus on color and build that up. It's a great way of working, great way of improving, great way of learning. Yes, every piece isn't going to be final portfolio quality, but you are going to improve drastically quicker by sort of focusing on the things that you're trying to do. Small projects, it's very easy to get lost in big projects. They take a long time. Motivation disappears over time. By doing little small 1-day, 2-day sketches, breakdowns, you can build up a lot more of your skills over time. And then include a sketchbook page on your ArtStation. Here's all my little 1-2 day sketches. Great. That's a great thing to see about workflow and process as well. So yeah, there we are. That's my advice on these topics. Do go and check out Simon's website. Again, you can get lost for days. There's so many things there that have interesting tech art and VFX things in there. Definitely check out his talk and think about how you can apply it to your own work. If you are learning, especially if you're just starting out, try and kind of plan out some baby steps. See what skills you think you need are, and then try and sort of apply that. Don't just try and do everything all at once. It's so difficult. There's so much to do, and so many kind of niches within VFX. So yeah, hopefully that helps. Let me know if you like this kind of advice type content. I'm currently working on my Niagara course, so there's definitely going to be some updates on that coming soon. As always, big thank you to all the people on Patreon who support the channel, and if you do want to join that and support me, that's great. Also check out my tutorials, longer form tutorials on Gumroad and Udemy. Currently materials is available. I've got 4 different packs there in one bundle, bringing them all together, and then, as I said, working on Niagara and soon to come blueprints and lighting and all sorts of other things as well. So yeah, check it out, and I will see you all next time. Oh, right, me again. Yeah, just one more thing I wanted to say quickly as we're talking about this sort of topic of sketches. If you aren't aware of the realtimevfx.com forum, come here, check it out. Again, really good information. People asking questions. Everyone's very helpful, very happy to help out with questions and problems that you're having. There's also a Discord to go with this, where a lot of us hang out, and there's lots of conversation about game art and VFX all day, every day. But specifically, as we're talking about sketches, there is a monthly sketch, a little topic. Do something simple, do something complex, post it up, get some feedback. It's such an important part of that sort of learning process loop. So if you don't really know what to do, here's something that can kind of inspire you and give you something to work towards as well. So another little recommendation, go and check that out. So many good resources these days online for game art specifically, and tech art and VFX as well. So yeah, go and check that out, and yeah, I'll see you all next time.